Hello, gentles and ladymen. I am Bison Gaming, and I am joined by my good friend Platypus Slayer. What is up, my dude?
Not much. Interested to watch this game. You said this one is equal parts pain and equal parts representation of a mechanic that you would tell me no more of. So I'm very curious to see what happens.
Fuck this game is what I will say to start. This was one of the most painful experiences in recent Age of Empires memory for me, and it is going to be this is a 45-minute game, and it will be 45 minutes of complaining. So I hope you all are here for that.
Right? Well, I was going to say right off the bat, Donate's in there, and I know he's a very good team player.
Yes, so it is me and Codefender, which Codefender is just some dude in the Discord that I was like, sure, I'll play some games, hell yeah, because some dude I just met in the Discord, versus Peter Conte, a bit of a wuss of a China player who kind of knows what he's doing, but also kind of doesn't, and Donate, the guy who's just carrying the game for his team. In all seriousness. Now, to be perfectly clear here, Donate, he's going to be the subject of most of this video, and he is vastly better than both me and Codefender as a player. Like, he is really fucking good. He is like 1700 elo levels of good. He's up there. He's in the top hundreds, like top couple of hundreds, right? And seeing a player that is that good at playing Sweden in a team game filled me with dread beforehand, but it was way worse than I could have expected, along with his behavior, which was bizarre to say the least after the match in terms of conversationally with us. But here we go. I am taking a USA Outlaws builds. I have Oklahoma Black Mesa, Continental Rangers, and just overall I'm planning on building Outlaws and Alhoots, which are, the mother of all outlaw units for USA. And over here with Ottomans, he is planning on doing a fast fortress into Humberasi and cavalry archers. So
Makes sense.
that is the beginning context to this game. Now, take a look at the China player's deck. I saw this and I was like, oh wait, he hasn't picked it yet. Okay, but the China player's deck is gonna come up, and I saw this and I was like, oh, we're gonna be under some pressure, right? I don't think you could possibly announce that you are going to attack early louder than this China player did when he selected his deck, which he still hasn't selected. What the fuck, dude? Pick your deck! Let me see if I can find it. This is the deck he had. This is the deck.
Yeah, it's not the most optimal deck I've ever seen, but well, especially if people are new to the game, they experiment and they tend to front load their decks. You know what I mean? It's not the most efficient use, so they end up having to kind of over put cards. And yeah, this deck definitely is not very effective. And if Peter's watching this, if you're more than welcome to join the Discord, I'd love to give you some tips on perhaps a more effective China deck and just timings and stuff like that, because I do play a lot of China. But this is not the most effective deck.
Also, he's stockpiling 2 shipments at the beginning of the game. This guy was not the best China player, like, just outright. He is aging to 2 with the porcelain tower. That's...
I've seen people do that for the flamethrowers, kind of. It's just... You get so much value holding off on the porcelain tower, to be honest, like to 3 or to 4. It's just not worth it.
Alright, and the Sweden player's deck is like the most optimized shit you've ever seen.
The extra fort's kind of interesting, though. You don't typically see that in Sweden decks. The second fort in Age 3.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, he fucking built forts, let me tell you what. I was very glad that Alhoots had high siege in this game, let me tell you. You're gonna see some shit.
Oh, boy. Yeah, but it looks like pretty standard. If you look at his shipment order, he sent in the 4 torps, Dominions first, and he's also sending
the 700 wood, yeah.
Yeah, he's already got 4 torps out. I mean, he's just
Very
getting torp.
optimized, very optimized. I will say, Donate, as much as I hate him now, he is a very good player.
Well, and I mean, he's opening with Huss. Like, this is a very solid start.
Yes.
I would say for Sweden. He's also moving his wagons to get a little bit of line of sight. Like, he's playing very well. Looking at you guys, let's see. I don't know the outlaw strat as much, but could we take a quick look at?
Yeah. So I started with capitalism, and then I have gone into the bank, and then followed it with Philadelphia Convention, to be followed by Advanced Saloon.
Okay, so help give you some pop space, help give you as much coin eco as you can early on.
Exactly. And then over here we have the Ottoman deck. He is 700 coin, and it looks like he sent capitalism and 3 villagers in addition to the 700 coin, and he's going up to 3.
Yep, that is not the worst Ottoman combo. Like I said, his macro is a tiny bit off, so he's a bit delayed, but I would say to Codefender, like, for what Ottoman wants to do, just kind of FFing, especially in the face of 2 civs that typically don't play too much H2. Well, I should say Sweden plays a lot of H2, but it's typically, wants to boom a bit. You can definitely get away with an FF. So I think your guys' strategy so far is pretty sound, and looks like we're going to get the 5 Huss Cav box raid.
Yeah. I was looking at that. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a lot tighter than you normally see. And I actually had a hard time spotting some of his raids, and he is going to terrorize my town with some of these raids, let me tell you.
Yep. It's a nice formation because you can literally go through the vills and trap them from running away.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't catch it immediately. So there goes 1, 2, 3 vills. I'm down to 4 vills. Yeah, I went from 16 down to 12. But it's fine because most of my economy comes from trickle, so it doesn't actually bother me too much. And in fact, this is like the only build order where I can kind of comfortably afford massive armies and go to H5 with like 35 vills.
Oh boy.
So I really don't mind losing villagers that much in this build order. It sucks, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't impact me too hard as long as I don't go idle when I have a lot of food stockpiled. But now that I know he's going that, so I'm grabbing cowboys, obviously, for my saloon.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a rush coming in here, which honestly, given how rough his start was, I'm impressed that he has this much.
Really, power to him for getting as much barbecues as he can. I wonder if he watched a Gideon video. It sounds like a Gideon build.
But now I have some owl hoots in combination with my Minutemen, and so we had me and Codefender had some communication troubles in the beginning of this match, where he is like, "Oh, I'm getting pushed," and I thought, "Oh, okay, it's not that bad," and then like 5 minutes later, I discover that he doesn't have a town center. I'm like, "When did you lose your town center?" He goes, "Oh, a while ago." I'm like, "You should have told me."
Oh boy! I mean, the good news is he's got quite the mass of the Humbarachi. Because they're heavy infantry too, the Step Riders only do 15 damage to them.
Yeah, that's very true.
So he should counter that almost that whole comp. And yeah, it's a bummer he lost his town center, especially his Ottoman.
Raids going on in my town, by the way.
Oh Jesus! Okay, so yeah, you're everywhere.
Yeah, I am making units here and also trying to build up here and protect my villagers and save his town. Like, I am spread so thin.
That sounds rough.
And I'm back up to 16 vills though, so that's cool. And I end up sending the 8-state militia card. That's how spread thin I was. I don't normally send that card.
I mean, I guess here it's like trying to get stuff out, right?
Yeah, exactly. Got a few more flamethrowers, a few more Chukanu. That I thought that first thing was dealt with, but he was like, "Oh, I guess you're still under attack. I'm on my way to help again." The nice thing is, he could actually probably hold that. He just needs to get a tower up if you're watching that Codefender and ship the 1,000 wood. You're in age 3. Now, the interesting thing about Humbarazi is these are supposed to be grenadiers that are especially good against.
Ooh.
Yeah, this guy was on point with the raids, man. He's one of those guys who raid, ignore military, raid. He's that kind of guy, right?
Yeah, that can be really like. As I've learned, like as I go up on the elo ladder, I mean that is just the standard at the higher elos, but I think especially in the casual lobby that can be really frustrating, especially when people are like trying to focus on their builds. But To be fair, after looking at his allies deck, I too would probably be like,
oh yeah,
well,
no, I don't blame him for that. This as far as I'm concerned, he's playing very well here. Annoyingly, but very well and in a way that I don't really blame him for. He's up on 27 Vils. My ally is at 16, and I'm not much better at 17, and China's at 28. So we have a very uphill battle going here.
Yeah, especially too because the torps of Sweden on top of the villagers. Ooh, and there you go.
Look, he's just ignoring the military, keep going for the settlers. And I lost another one and back down to 16. Yeah, I got him. And now he's got a massive Karolian sitting my forwards as well. Like, this guy was everywhere, it felt like. And so I'm like, fuck, I don't want to lose my forwards, so forward I go. And I got more cowboys coming out of here. It is it is a scrappy game, and yeah, it is. At this point though, I was feeling less spread thin because this rush had stopped. He's kind of rebuilding. He's got a shipment point now, and I'm like, okay, now I can kind of focus and do my thing a little bit better. Meanwhile, we have villagers on pretty much every coin mine, it feels like, or there will be. But he's got a villager up on this coin mine up here, and that guy will accomplish some stuff. Let's just say that. But in the meantime, this saloon is getting rebuilt because losing the saloons is a big deal because I lose a settler's worth of coin trickle, a military, one of my only 3 military building locations, and 20 population.
Right.
Which sucks, but on the other hand, I get all of that for only 200 wood, and that's insane.
No, definitely not a bad bargain, and of course, too, it must be rough because like now you're stacking 2k a coin. Looks like Sweden's up.
I'm shipping the Virginia General Assembly at this point because I'm like, yeah, I have a ton of coin. I can go up to age 3 pretty soon, you know?
I'd probably just buy your way.
Yeah, exactly. That's generally what I do. And we're gonna get a town center going up right here next to my town.
Oof.
I'm hitting his town right now, actually. And we've also got the Springfield Armory plugging out upgrades as well. The nice thing about Owl Hoots here is that they're actually pretty decent for siege despite being skirmishers. They have more siege than like one of those other a musketeer. We're just in a shootout here, and I'm expecting to win this, you know. I have Owl Hoots on my team. Not very many of them anymore. I think he kind of picks them out very, very quickly at first.
Oh, no.
But then these guys show up, and that sucks.
Yep, rip. Those are H2 or H3 Karolians, too, so they're actually pretty solid.
He just got the upgrade in the middle of this fight. He just got the upgrade in the middle of this fight. So this fight actually went really, really poorly for me. And I'm now in this situation where I was like, oh fuck, I'm out of army.
Got an army, and I think most importantly too, like, ooh, China's still prowling around.
China's prowling around, but he's not really going to accomplish much. Red's army is across the map, but there's not a whole lot for China to hit. There's no settlers in his immediate vicinity, and all of his units have shit siege. And I just popped out 10 cowboys.
Okay, yeah, that should deal with that small little comp there.
Yeah, and thus starts the retreat. Meanwhile, my state capital is up front here. I love putting the state capital up front because it provides a ton of line of sight, a forward location for all of your town centers and outpost wagons to spawn out of, and it makes such an appetizing target for opponents who don't realize how little the immediate value is for the state capital. Because the state capital is important, but it's important only in short bursts. You don't need it up, you know? And so as far as I'm concerned, it's just 5,000 hit points that an army is going to take a while to burn through.
Yeah, it's a lot of ways, it's kind of like the Summer Palace is often for China, where it's great value, it sucks to lose it, but 5,000 HP to buy me enough time to get a shipment, then it's worth it.
Yeah. So I just got statehood. I'm up to age 3 now. And that means that pretty soon we're going to be getting upgraded units. Still not doing great on villagers. I'm down on 17 now. At 15 minutes into the game versus 38 and 38 for Sweden and China, and 18 with my ally.
So this is looking like a better fight for you because again the goons. I mean the Corollians are strong, but they're not.
They just used the charged action to completely nuke that first falconet. You know.
Right. And you're under your flag, so you're taking good trades.
I still don't have the veteran upgrade yet for my Alhoots. It's coming, but it's taken some time. You know. God. But what I do have the range card. It looks like in. Right, because and I was under the flag as well.
Something too is what is China's mass? What's going on there with Code Fender versus China? China's just gonna get the huge swarm and just right click.
That's the plan.
All right, but it looks like he is starting to come back. He could probably get another town center up.
The Corollian's charged to help get away from my big skirm mass because he's realized, oh fuck, he's got a big skirm mass. So,
yeah. On sharpshooters, they punch really freaking hard. So
and they got lots of all of my units have good range here. Look at this. Look at this. We got 22 range on the sharpshooters and 21 on the Alhoots.
Yeah, no, that's even leather cannon range. Those Humbarachi, well, I mean they're Keshigs.
Yeah, I'm coming in to assist. At first, I'm like, yeah, we can target the flamethrowers from behind, and then I'm like, ooh, he's got a falconet.
No, that's a lot of export wasted right there.
And he quits.
What?
Yeah, China quits here. And that's when this game became a 2-on-1. And it's starting with this mass of 5 falconets and 42 Corollians. And this is where I get to start complaining about Sweden, because this guy cockroaches so fucking hard. This guy cockroaches so fucking hard. It's like the worst. This is right click not doing its job, you know, or attack move not doing its job. Thank you very much, game.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And then all those.
Now I have the veterancy upgrade on the Alhoots though, so that's cool. You know, these guys
it looks like
27 attack at 2 speed with multipliers against heavy infantry.
Well, in Code Fender, he does sacrifice his mass, but he takes all of those cannons out.
Yeah, he does. Code Fender was a lifesaver here. And now this guy's got 3 culverins that aren't gonna accomplish shit.
Right.
And here's the thing, is this guy knows that I'm focusing on Alhoots, and he never changes his strategy for making Corollians, ever. There's like one large massive husk left in this game, and then it's just Corollians for the rest of it. And so I'm just like, yeah, I'll keep making like my strongest my strongest outlaw that also counters your army. Fuck, you know. So at this point I realized that he probably had a artillery foundry somewhere up here. So I was just like, hey, we got to go hit this point, you know.
Right. Stop it from massing.
And if you look, I actually don't. I just spotted his TC. I'm like, oh, he's got a lot of stuff over here.
I mean, his score is literally almost double your guys's anyway. So
yes, yes, it is.
He has an unimposed torp boom.
And like, we got to start with this to make sure nothing else comes out of it while we're here. Because that would be bad if... Because I know he's not against making masses of, like, 5+ cannons, and in fact, we just missed a mass of 5 cannons.
Yeah,
you know?
pulling out. Which would have... I mean, depending on who got the first shot, could have nuked everything but the, with only 2 cav archers there? Like, that would have been brutal.
Yeah.
Speaking of...
Here they come!
And minutes...
Gatling gun not doing shit again. Oh, there we go. And so yeah, he was so Code Fender was on the Corollians for a little bit with the cav archers, and I was like screaming at him in the chat. I'm like, "Get the cannons! Get the cannons! Get the cannons!" And he didn't realize what I meant until he had like lost most of his cav archers, so I just had to do it myself with all the Alhoots, which is fine because they have a ton of attack, you know.
Well, and luckily, it seemed like those cav archers tanked a lot of shots too
They
from
did.
the
They did
cannon,
tank
so
a lot.
power bottoming.
We got it, but he managed to evacuate all of his settlers. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna chase the settlers, you burn down the torps.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what you got to do, especially Sweden, because they can send berries back out, they can send coin, like, you got to keep the torp. But this is a great map for them, because there's coin mines everywhere.
Don't I fucking know it. And I feel like I'm having a really hard time catching up to these guys, despite having military drummers. And so he just gets away with, like, almost everybody. I get one villager here. Also, during that big attack, I went down to 11 villagers, and I lost my TC, and now I'm up at 12. I forgot to mention that, because I built a new TC. But yeah, I'm at 11 villagers right now, but I'm kind of still okay, just because of all the coin trickles.
Right, as long as your banks and stuff stay up, you should be okay.
Yeah. But now there's a few more Hus, and yeah, this is one thing he just loves to do, where he'll just throw his units into melee. Unfortunately, Caroleans, while they are very strong in melee, you know, especially against skirmishers, once again, that's not going to always be the case with the Alhoot, as the Alhoot has 18 attack, which is a fair bit higher than most skirmishers. In fact, the hand attack of the Alhoot is equivalent of, like, a veteran skirmisher. A veteran skirmisher's range attack. You know? One thing that's kind of interesting, though, is that they do have 2 speed in their melee attack instead of 1.5. A little weird.
That is weird, but I guess it's for the faster range attack of some sort, or...
I guess, yeah. Yeah, they do hit very hard in melee as well. Obviously, the range is what's ideal, but... And I love that their shotgun attack doesn't have a negative multiplier against Cav, so I can still kind of get a good first shot off on Cav still.
Yes. Yeah, you're definitely taking it down. I mean, and these... This should beat the Caroleans, right?
Yeah, he just runs away. He just does the charge and runs away.
Yep, he's like, nope. Not yet. Not dealing with that.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a look at what Sweden's up to right now, as a matter of fact. He's got 29 Caroleans still alive. He's got a fort up that he's sent, because he sent the first fort card. He's sent Snaplock and Platoon Fire by this point. And he's just fucking chilling, man.
Well, he's got a cav switch, too, because he's seen that you guys don't have the most anti-cav on the field, other than a few cav archers.
He's not doing a cav switch, he's doing a one-time cav pass.
Okay.
and it goes well for him for a fight, and then he never does it again.
And honestly, triple carded by now. Caroleans probably soon to be, if you can ever get up to age 4, quadruple. He'll be fine. Ooh, the Order of Vasa ability too, so they're going to be super tanky, those cav.
Oh yeah.
Or no, the Order of Vasa. Which one is that? There's so many royal houses now. It's not. That's Golden Reiter that does the extra like armor.
Look at that long-range charge action from the Cowboys, sniping off one of those Minutemen immediately. A couple gunslingers here as well, because I sent the Reno gang. And now I'm getting my Oklahoma Black Mesa, which will really allow me to have a strong economy without needing settlers, basically. You know? It's one of my favorite aspects.
I mean, you're cleaning Sweden off the map, but I would imagine he's still got a lot of torps on his side. But I mean, this is ideally what you want to do, because you don't want Sweden stealing all your coin on your side.
He's got villagers cockroaching up here that'll cause us issues again later. But look at this massive Hus that he has.
Wow. Yep, that is going to hurt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this guy was not afraid to try to 2v1 us. And at this point, Codefender's like, oh shit, I need more cav archers. I'm like, yeah! Like,
yeah, oh, absolutely. And in fact, Sweden is really only weak, kind of weak, air quotes, is to goons, right?
Yeah,
so,
because they don't have like anything that has multipliers against them.
No, nothing besides crossbow and mercs. So I mean, they do get Jaegers and other weird stuff, but yeah, that's going to be a clean, it looks like.
But now I got another batch of Minutemen plus a large group of Alhoots showing up on the sidelines that are just picking away with impunity. And so the Cav are like really the only thing that are threatening here, and this massive Corollians is going down. And the Cav mass is mostly gone by now, just due to them being on the front lines.
Yeah, they've tanked their damage, but...
Yeah. Kentucky Coalfields is coming next. I forget this thing is here for a second, but I'll get that up momentarily. And yeah, no, I'm starting to like pick back up eco-wise. I'm at 23 Vils now. I think I built a second I have a second TC up as well, and I can get eco. Oh yeah, this was nice, and I can get eco with I can get eco with my what is it, my gunslingers. Very nice.
Yeah, this is looking
Hey look, it's another fort. This is actually the first fort that I had spotted, but it's the second one.
Oh, that's really close to. Yeah, you're gonna take fire if you try to siege it with infantry.
Oh yeah. I end up destroying it with infantry later, but I had enough by that point, so
Yeah, so I mean, I guess at this point, it looks like Dante's already running out of some of his coin, and some of his torps. He's got probably raids here and there, but I mean, this is looking like whatever chance he had to 2v1, that it's starting to slip.
oh yeah. You still got 10 husks? What the fuck? I don't remember seeing these. Maybe they were taken care of by my ally.
Looks like it, since he's sending them over right now.
Yeah. We have some more Corollians over here. I pretty much only encountered Corollians for the rest of the game. Corollians and artillery. That's all I encountered for the rest of the game.
Must cannon. It is a thing. It is a comp. Theory, it deals with just about everything except for mass goon.
Even with his like detriment, like his macro is fucking on point, man. Look at this shit. He's got a few hundred of every single resource. It's all it's balanced as everything should be.
Yeah, he's getting a good grade.
So,
not
oh, okay. I didn't kind of encounter these, but he didn't get any of my settlers.
Yep.
Are those Mamelukes? Yeah, they are Mamelukes.
He does a great job. Splits it off, saves more for the rest of the day. I mean, Dante's he's everywhere.
So
he's doing what he's
fucking
supposed to.
good. And now we're gonna get an outpost up here again.
Oh no. Something's getting shipped right up the rear.
And he's aging to age 4. He is able to age to age 4 despite everything that's been happening. And he's maintaining a 12k score lead on us, on either of us. Like, it is unbelievable.
Yeah, the Swedish boom, like, once it goes off, I mean, if you think about it, it says he has 77 Vils, but if you include the torps, he's probably easily over 100 Vils of the economy right now.
And here I am at 33?
Yeah, plus whatever buildings, right?
Yeah, and I'm also, I'm pretty sure mining by, yeah, I have some gunslingers mining as well. Not just here, there's multiple spots, yeah. I'm mining out with the gunslingers as well, so I have all these coin trickles, and coin is the only resource I need, and all of my units, I mean, this is a 140 resource goop, you know, so I'm able to age 4 as well behind all of this. Look, I'm aging to age 4 right now.
Wow.
And this is one of the cool things that I like about this strategy, and it's one of the things I hate about Sweden, is that you can obliterate Sweden's whole base and they'll be fine. That's not so the case with mine. I do need a base, but I can lose a huge chunk of my settlers and still be okay. You know? Just thanks to the gunslinger mechanics.
Yeah, and just like, I mean, it's like a lot of civs. You see the same thing with Japan often, right? Where Japan's ecos spread across the map, and so as long as they still have those buildings out there trickling stuff, in your case, you know, yours are in base, so it's a little bit harder, a little trickier, right, to survive in a deadly push. But wow, I mean, he gets those cab on you again, but not able to connect really.
Splits him off again.
And try to kick off the weak Vil.
I finished him with the settlers and saved that one Vil's life. That's 6 HP.
That is.
But now we're
Clutch.
H4, which means all of our units have Shadow Tech again. One of the other great things. And we're up to 39 attack at 2 speed. And by this point, I've sent Kentucky Continental Rangers, and unfortunately, we're not going to get the range boost in Kentucky Hunters in this upcoming patch. They'll be stuck at 18 range. But we're getting our 10% Royal Guard boost that USA have for all of their outlaws right now, and we're getting the Dance Hall upgrade as well. So now we have the Royal Guard level, 41 attack. This is a skirmisher. Firing at 2 speed.
Yeah, that's gonna melt that. Looks like the tower will not go up.
I didn't even see that guy at first. The tower did
Oh,
go
wow.
up. Yeah. He's just got villagers that were just phantom hiding behind it.
Like, good job from him, man. Like, Dante, just keep everything going. I mean,
Outpost up here, coin mines over here, torps being built here. This is the fucking cockroach style gameplay that I hate, because by this point there's no chance that he can beat both of us, you know.
no. Or is there?
He's also got 3 forts.
Oh, shit.
In the same spot. I would have spread them out a little bit.
No. This is Fort Sweden. He's basically saying, well, I'm doomed, but let's see if we can drag this out another 10 minutes or so. Because, I mean, he's as long as his torps are everywhere and his vills are fast enough to build them, I mean, it's like whack-a-mole. And this is something that is so annoying into, like, Japan or Sweden, right? Is you spend so much time, like, not engaging, but just, like, playing whack-a-mole and right-clicking on buildings across the map. Ooh. Looks like you take... Not terrible, but... Yeah, you definitely ate the first volley, but I think you guys are fine. Right?
Oh, yeah. The Humberossi are doing their thing. My Alhoots are... I was not focused on here, so my Alhoots are just like, yeah, we'll siege the arsenal, it's fine.
Yeah.
Do I stop him from... Oh, wait, no, that's not his tech, that's my tech. But at this point, you know, my units only cost 2 pot now, right?
Yeah.
So you can see I'm just churning out batch of 10 after batch of 10 after batch of 10.
I know, this
After
is
batch
looking...
of 10.
Yeah, like, this is the end game.
But it's not.
I guess the question from here is, like, if you're Sweden, what is the play? Like, is there... I guess really anything? I guess heavy cannons, Corollians might be a problem to all that.
He tries that, let me tell you. Alright.
Alright.
Yeah, no, he does try the heavy cannons thing later, but, I mean, the problem is he's making Corollians against Humberossi and Alhoots. He needs Cav. He needs a big army of 80. He needs an 80 pop army of Cav, is what he needs.
Can be a bit tricky, I would say, just because the Cav Archers are out, and the Cav Archers tank Hussar in particular pretty good. And like you said, your units do extra relative to their pop cost to Cavalry. They only have the 0.75, so do a little bit more damage. The buckshot does full. But, I mean, at this point, yeah, this is just right-clicking stuff.
Yeah, so we agreed to split off from here because he grabbed those torps, and I had to get up here, you know. Because, you know what? We destroyed his base, but he's still fucking cockroaching. He got away with almost all of his builds. He's still at 80.
Wow. I mean, he's not just at 80. He's at, what, 5 away from max for Sweden as of this patch?
Yeah, pretty much. And look, he's going for this coin mine now as well. He's got 2 heavy cannons and 4 falconets still.
That is a composition.
Yeah.
That is a composition. And while you're down there having to burn houses, yeah. Oh no! Does he see your vills? Okay, looks like you.
Yeah, I managed to get out of that, but I was just like, hey, I'm gonna hit these forts and lose some units so that I can retrain up here. Send everything you have to go help out here.
Right. Look at
He's
him.
trying to base trade with us. But if you look at these forts here, these are fully upgraded forts, you know. Alhoots don't give a fuck.
No, they don't. They're doing really good on the siege. But yeah, it looks like now he's just gonna.
Yeah, these guys have 45 siege right now. First one's down.
Oof.
And he's
Yeah,
still marching. I think he's looking for like factories or something.
Or Otto, right? Otto's a little bit slower to come back. Like Otto, you can't just scalpel, right? Because their vills are for free. Like you have to cripple Ottoman. So he's probably figuring, you know what? I'm just gonna cripple everything Ottoman has. And oh, there are the Mamluks get on, but too many Karolians now. Still, they're able to.
They're actually taking a lot of shots, but yeah, two go down there. 3, there's the 4th. But now I'm able to start training Alhoots from here because I've lost some of them. By the way, the 2nd fort's down and the 3rd one's about to go. This is a skirmisher, by the way.
That sounds about just DE things. Wow, look at that, man. The Crowley's beating Grenadiers. Just Sweden things.
I mean, the Grenadiers went into melee with them by accident.
The Gren do really good in melee against heavy. They do like 60 damage. They should be doing more damage, but
just the Crowley. I think he wasn't in combat and he was still like marching around.
Yeah, and then I think the Crowleys get like.
I forgot that my factory went to the forward base, so I just built it in the middle of the map. I was like, that's probably the one spot he's never going to attack because he probably thinks it's like hella fortified by now, and that he's trying to like skirt around the edges of the map to like cockroach. You know, I figure it was probably decently safe there.
Yeah, and you know at this point you're probably like, F it. If I lose one, I lose one.
Yeah.
Because yeah, his scores dropped. I mean, Codefender took a huge hit there, but your score is about to hit his, and you know, in a 2v1 situation, like all he has to do is not.
These guys do have good melee. You're right.
Yeah.
Still, I think they're 2 pop units, so and they're not super tanky either. I mean, they are, but they're not. You know.
It's also triple guard.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a lot of dead vills. I don't think he has anywhere to run.
Escaping into the fog. I'm like, this is the problem. We are making Humbarasi and Alhoots, and he refuses to make anything but Karolians. He needs Huss. That's what he needs. He needs like 40 Huss.
Or just more Karolians.
That is the Sweden thing, isn't it? Splitting his vills.
That time I don't think it works though. I think he got what, maybe 1 lives.
Yeah, he got 1 to live. But he managed to get these ones away, and then he walks right up to us mining the coin mine.
Oh, yeah, he on the migration goes across the Karelian Lakes. So, like, what does he even have an army? Can we look at like No Fog or War, his point of view? Like, where's his army? Oh, he doesn't have an army.
He's got like 4 Karelians.
He's going to 5.
Yeah, he's going to H5. He has the capability to go to H5 behind this, and just got both of his factories up now as well. This is basically, it's ridiculous.
So he just took that huge fight, and even though he lost everything, he said, "You know what? I'm not going to remass. I'm just going to go to 5."
By the way, he didn't spot my factories here. Oh, he did. Okay. He spotted one of them. Oh, he spotted both of them. Fine. Fine game.
Right. I'm just sitting over here, just like I'm pretty impressed that like he was able to get to 5 under all of that. But I mean, that's the power of Sweden. Like if he's pop capped.
And look at his macro. Immediately after getting to 5, he's gonna have Imperial Karolians.
Yeah, he is. It's perfect macro.
Unbelievable.
But your score is leapfrogging, so you guys should be fine.
I'm actually ahead of him in score now. And I'm getting ready to go to H5 myself here. I think I just bought a ton of food, so I was just like, yeah, let's go to H5. I'm not making any villagers past like 41. Don't mind it. You know, I don't need it. And at this point, we were getting so annoyed that we were just like, okay, we're gonna look at an alternate route to victory because he's never going to give up. So if you look around the map here and see a little project starting.
Oh yeah, the Get out of my game project.
Yes.
The slightly less toxic than I think the worst I've ever done is typed in press the button. Time to click the button.
Yeah, and we got this one.
Yeah, he's aged. So, but what does he do? Send mercs or something? Like, I guess if he aged up with the merc contractor, that could do something.
I'm not sure what he aged
it.
up with. Yeah, he's just got Imperial Corollians. That's all he's making. He's got both of his factories making heavy cannons, though. So that's a thing. Heavy cannons are, dangerous. But he's got a serious problem, and that is that I'm aging with New York. And you're familiar with what New York does, right?
Oh, artillery one, and then they have like a 5% eco or something, right?
No, the big issue is not the New York shipments, but the New York bonus. The mercenary contractor gives a 50% bonus to mercenaries, right? But for USA, it's split 25 and 25. You only get 25% with New York, but you get your other 25% with New York's 3,000 coin costing shipment, right?
Okay, yeah.
However, in exchange for this, your initial 25%, not the shipment one, but the initial one, affect outlaws as well as mercs.
Oh, nice.
And because they're also going to get an age up scaling to 5, that means that these guys are going to get a 75% stat boost, not a 50%.
So they're going to be just boom, basically here in a second.
Yeah, just wait. He actually engages me at just the right time here. But now we have 53 attack without the flag at 2 speed with multipliers versus heavy infantry, and my dumbass was just like, oh, yeah, we'll just keep burning this, But that does not solve this issue. I've burned down one of his factories. We've started the trade monopoly. And I'm like, oh, there's his other factory. Here's the Humberossi. Once again, he only has, like, Corollians right now.
Oh, yeah, those Humberossi should be able to... No, but they're age 3 versus Imperial.
Oh, yeah. But, here's 4 heavy cannons he's got there.
Oh, no.
But, like, it doesn't matter. These guys are so statted the fuck out,
Right.
They do 150 damage a shot against Imperial Corollians.
How much pop are they costing now, 2?
2 pop.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
And they have 63 siege. So yeah, Sweden players, if your opponent is making Alhoots, make fucking Cav.
Yeah, I think, oh, that was a cloud of 10s. I mean, he is able to kill, but it's like, I don't know. I think at this point, but he knows he's on his last legs. He's probably just...
And now he finally resigns. And here's the kicker. After all of this aggravating cockroach play that he did for 45 minutes, when we finally won, after grabbing every trade post and trade monopolying him while destroying both of his factories, he had the gall to complain, and after using only units that are countered by ours, he had the gall to go into the chat and complain about us abusing OP units and how we were toxic players. He said he added us to the pest list, which is very funny because that hasn't existed since the base game.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a reference to, of course.
Yeah. It was such a bizarre experience that after this game, he immediately just started trash talking us, and we were like, "You 2v1'd us, and you used the wrong unit. What did you expect would happen?"
Yeah, I mean, I could see where this unit, like, probably why it's getting a slight nerf, but that wasn't on display. It wasn't like you were kiting skirms at range the entire time or anything like that. They can't
kite because they fire at the end of their 2-second animation.
Right, but you know what I mean. Like, this was just, like, the power of Sweden to literally, for lack of a better term, face fuck skirms for 20, probably 33 minutes and, like, still make a game out of it. I mean, a lot of it, if if China hadn't just like given up.
They would have won if China hadn't given up. I think this guy is good enough that with even with like his shitty China teammate, like he could have carried this game to victory. I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was not USA being OP or anything. You were on the back foot. If we look at res gathered, it probably looks
hilarious. Yeah, let's take a look at the post game.
What's the right word? Concerning. Yeah.
Most resources 104,000 compared to my 63. The funny thing is, I didn't really care. I still had all the res I needed to make massive armies the whole game and go to age 5.
Yeah, I mean, early on he could have like nipped it in the bud, like I said, but his ally was Peter. If you're up to, like I said, it's okay to be, like I said, new. We're not trying to critique you as like a person. But your China play was doing okay early on, but you just cut too much economy, I think. Couldn't keep up, got outscaled, and your unit comps like weren't good enough. And then in your case, like you didn't have to gather 10,000 or 40,000 more resources because all you needed was coins. As long as you had your coin going, like
I do find it incredibly funny that USA and Sweden are fine with their ecos getting destroyed, but for totally different reasons. For USA, because for a lot of your strategies you don't need much, and for Sweden, because it doesn't matter if you lose all 80 of your vills, you still have a massive eco.
Yeah. Exactly. Especially in the early game, like when that 20 is so significant. Like having 20 vills on somebody. It's like Brit, but you don't even have to macro it or anything, and you're still making vills, and you're not exhausting hunts because you just send the berry card over and over. So, I would say if you're able to Carolian and Cannon, Grenadiers and Scurbs for 33 minutes, I don't think that's indicative of how OP the Scurbs are. I think that's or Humbarachi are. That's definitely more of just Sweden's power that it can use units that it's countered by and still swing
for 45 minutes.
Yeah, he had to jump on you guys. He had the unpunished boom. We would expect Sweden to do well for a while, but how many times does he just delete your army? Time and time again.
Yeah, we got out for a lot of those battles, but he deleted me, I think, twice for really big ones. The one when I attacked his base, and then the other when we were skirting along the outside of the map, burning the torps. When he had that big husk mass, but even though we gathered up pretty quick, and we were also able to wipe him as well. So this was a losing game pretty much as soon as the China guy quit, and good on him for continuing to play, right? But he can't complain to us when he still loses.
Yeah, I would imagine Dante's out there maybe you just tilted because it sucks when you have a game in the bag and your ally shits out on you and you're fighting these units. But I'm sure if you look back on it, he's probably like, "Oh, I could have raided that. I could have done this." And just the fact that it's not like you played wrong. It's 2v1.
He played very, very well. He's very clearly a better player than me, by a wide margin.
Yeah, this is not exactly the display. I was expecting you to be cheeky and be kiting with that 21 range attack and then running away and letting it recharge or something.
No,
I think
it doesn't really work with Owl Hoots. You just want them to stand and shoot because they have such high base attack.
Nice. But no, thought you guys played, like I said, came back from a pretty harrowing beginning there, and you almost did get 2v1, but you guys were able to get the unit mass up, and then he kept throwing Corollians into it that husk switch. If you would have just stuck on it,
agreed.
In hindsight, could have. Or Hacka pellets, even. I know they're not popular.
The Cowboys the Cowboys and Gunslingers are far less individually efficient as the Owl Hoot. The Owl Hoot has twice the attack, has twice the base attack of other skirmishers. And the Cowboy and by comparison, the Cowboy is just a goon with a charged action, and the Gunslinger is just a what am I thinking? Musketeer.
Musketeer, yeah.
But a little better. But the Owl Hoot is the one that has all of the beef, and that's the one unit that he kept encouraging me to make.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't blame us when that happens. I want to look at the Vilgraph. Yeah, that's sad. Oh, that's sad. All right. Do you have any last words? Do you have closing remarks?
That was a pretty entertaining game. I'm sure your viewers probably enjoyed. Lots of, I think, kind of iconic units for these various civs just going at it, and yeah, I totally agree. I think it was a 2v1. I don't know why Sweden would be upset. I mean, if anything, that's the power of Sweden. We're at almost 2v1. Its boom is so good.
Yeah.
It's better than 2 civs back to back. So it's a very strong civ. We are getting some Swedish nerfs, specifically to the Corollian and a few other units, and I think that kind of shows a little bit why just the power of the Swedish boom. That being said, I think all players did well, and it's a casual lobby. End of the day, people should relax a bit. Although there's nothing more serious than a casual friendly game.
Yeah. Ironically, the people in comp are far better mannered than the people in casual.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You kind of expect stuff in ranked. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was an enjoyable game. I definitely. It was interesting seeing Outlaws, which you don't see as much anymore with the United States. So I kind of got to see an old build brought back to the light, and then
I have been consistently bringing Owl Hoots into the light since Oklahoma Black Mesa got buffed.
They slightly nerfing it, or is that Kentucky that's getting nerfed? They
are adding 50 to the 200 wood cost, which is still fine because it used to be 1,000. And it'll be 250, whoop-de-fucking-do. And they are also removing the 3 range that Kentucky Rangers gives Owl Hoots.
Okay, so that sounds pretty.
So Owl Hoots will be stuck at 18 range.
Yeah, this means they'll take skirm shots first, or cannons a bit more consistently. So
yeah.
Nothing major. It's somewhere between an actual nerf and an Ottoman nerf in actual power change.
Yeah.
So.
I think they should take August guns and just nerf their range by 20.
We don't do that.
Just turn it into a shotgun,
That sounds no. There'd be a way because they need to give it speed and then be running around doing Area 5 or something crazy. But no, I think like you said, that was a pretty good, entertaining game, and I think all the players involved should be not too upset about it. It always sucks losing a 40-minute game one way or the other, but I think end of the day everybody moved on and went about their way.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I couldn't have imagined a better person to complain about Sweden with for 45 minutes than Platt, so give him a hand for that. Have a great day, and goodbye.